So, it's Sunday, May 29th of 2022, and today marks the end of a legend. If you're a follower of this channel, then you already know how much I have come to love Ayashimon, and how I held out hope that it would continue and not be cancelled prematurely. Unfortunately, our biggest fears came to pass, and the Axe of Jump cut it off at one of its highest points. This chapter felt very rewarding at first, but ultimately left me hungry for more with that cliffhanger. There is honestly not a whole lot I can say about the rest of the chapter other than I loved the paneling and the artwork was top notch as usual. The main trio got a chance to shine one last time. Maruo and Ten's team up attack, followed by Maruo coming to realize the power of friendship, is all done very well in shonen fashion, but my favorite thing about this chapter by far is how well it handled itself to the very end. It did not try to give a half-assed ending, and while I really don't like the cliffhanger fight against Doppo, I think even that being left open to interpretation was pretty great. Overall, the chapter went by very fast, so I had to read it again at least 10 more times, hanging on to every page as a piece of art, enjoying every trip of dopamine that I could get into my veins. Since this will be my final video regarding Ayashimon, I wanted to leave some of my closing thoughts about the series overall and explain what made me so attached to it. If you had to ask me right when I had finished reading it, it might have been something along the lines of Maruo punched a guy and I liked it a lot. But after sitting here collecting my thoughts, it all became crystal clear. The reason I liked Ayashimon was all due to its uniqueness and the artistic and stylistic choices the author made when creating each character in every panel, and how each page was filled to the brim with so much personality and life. Koton was really shaping up to be a great rival character to Maruo, and say what you want about the chapters focusing on them recruiting the Todoroki Alliance, but I enjoyed that fight quite a lot and it helped Maruo develop as a character and Ten as well. Doppo as a final villain certainly was one of the weaker points of the series, with his fire abilities and such being pretty basic, and his abilities being so easily copied by Tamagawa during chapter 23 did feel pretty cheap, but I did enjoy Doppo's design for being pretty intimidating and terrifying. This one panel where he's in a room full of heads and miscellaneous body parts in chapter 6, where he's interrogating Hashihime, that just radiated Yakuza energy, and I really wish we had gotten more of that Yakuza side of Ayashimon. I'm sure we would have gotten more of that with time, but from talking to my friends, I guess it was just too little too late. But where I think it really gets this concept right is where our main heroine, Urara, is concerned. Urara, who has brought our hero into this great new world of monsters and ghouls, was certainly doing it to serve her own purposes at first, but she really came around to accepting and treating him like a brother and an equal, and I'd like to think that her goal of reclaiming the Enma clan did succeed in the end. Maruo is hands down one of the best protagonists we've seen in recent years, and I could talk about him for days. His most endearing quality to me is his simple goal of wanting to be strong, like a manga protagonist, and have so many adventures. And you know, he started aiming for that goal for the most unselfish of reasons, being to defend himself because of his abusive father. It's because he found strength in fictional stories of strong role models and action heroes from comics, which is again very relatable to us all. As anime fans and nerds back in the day, we all suffered some kind of bullying or, at least people poking fun at us, and that's where we found our strength in these fictional characters and stories. And that is what makes Maruo so relatable and fun as a character, and so enjoyable to see in action. In conclusion, Ayashimon may not have been always the most incredibly well-received thing in Japan, but I know it does have its dedicated fans. If there's only 100 fans in the world that still care about this 25-chapter, short-lived series, then I am one of them. If there's only 25, I'm one of them. If there's only one, then I am that one. Thank you, Yuji Kaku, for giving us this piece of media and for always putting your best effort into it, telling it to the bitter end, and thank you all for watching, liking, and subscribing to this channel. While this is not the end for me, I wanted to give the series its proper send-off. If there's one thing I can say to give you hope, it's that if by some chance, some really slim chance, that this series returns or receives any news, I will be sure to talk about it and cover it all here. Sayonara, you fucking weebs, and I'll see you all next time.